AlanCoxShow.com. Watch live there. You listen in the iHeartRadio app. You can always leave us messages there as well. And, we'll get to do better with Bill Squire here. Shortly, we're also going to weigh Poundcake in a little bit later on. He's been making great strides in his attempt to lose 20 pounds by the end of our broadcast year. Our last live show is going to be December the 15th. And so there's a little gentlemanly wager between him and Mary Santora, where if he hits his goal weight, which I believe is 171 pounds.
172.
172 pounds. I don't know why I can't remember that.
I don't know why either.
But he's only 7 pounds away.
It must be because it's not that important to me. Nevertheless.
No, come on.
I know that. Why can't
Nevertheless, 172 pounds. And boy, I'll tell you what, he has had his share of ups and downs, literally and figuratively. He has had his triumphs, and he's had his tribulations. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio from outside of Ohio, or even like the far-flung reaches of Ohio, tell me where. Mike listens in Livonia, Michigan, suburban Detroit. Louis is in Newark, New Jersey. Oleg is one of our Canadian bureau chiefs. He's in London, Ontario. And Nick and Cora listen in Golden Valley, Arizona. We have a lot of bureau chiefs in the great city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, by the way. And there's one neighborhood in particular. It's a neighborhood I lived in for a short period of time called Shady Side. And for a while, it was much like Lakewood used to be for Cleveland. Shady Side, even though it's still a city of Pittsburgh neighborhood, it's not a suburb, but it's a neighborhood. That was the gay neighborhood. It was the gayborhood, to borrow a turn of phrase from Poundcake. And a little more gentrified now, but that's the way it was when I was living there. But again, as such, it was a great neighborhood. It's where a bunch of fun stuff was happening. The stores were good, whatever. But it was hoity-toity. It's pretty upscale. You had a lot of dinks living there, both gay and straight. So a lot of local money. But the people who live there now are having a difficult time because there are carjackings happening, and there are people coming out to find their tires deflated. And there's not a lot of Pittsburghese in this story, but there's a couple of little things that might jump out at you. They sent one of their reporters out to cover this growing concern there in the neighborhood.
This is the moment their tires were deflated. They claim the people carrying the umbrellas were also carrying lentils.
I think umbrella is a Pittsburgh thing too. I don't know. I haven't heard people say umbrella here.
Lentils like beans?
Beans, Mary. Lentils like beans. Yes.
Wait, did she use the wrong word?
That's how nice it is there. These people are being terrorized by beans.
Legumes.
Uh-huh.
Carrying the umbrellas were also carrying lentils. You can see them briefly pause by a parked car. That's when we're told lentils were placed inside the tire cap, allowing the tire to leak air.
So they come out and they don't see the lentil immediately until they take the little thing on. Oh, what the hell's going on here? My car is only 3/4 full in tire pressure.
This bean anarchy is out of control.
This used to be a quiet neighborhood, and now we're being overrun with lentils.
And then this note was placed on the windshield, reading, "Dear Jagoff, this vehicle is..."
Now that's the perfect way to start a letter there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that is a very...
Dear Jagoff, I put lentils on your tires.
I know what's going on. Can I guess what's going on?
Yes.
There's people that are new to this neighborhood that are not respecting the parking chairs.
Not the chairs.
What are they? The parking? What are they?
They're going to tell you.
Okay.
I think
it's one of those things, right?
I think it's no, you'll never guess. But I think it's somebody who's just looking for a reason to write people a Jagoff letter.
Reading, "Dear Jagoff, this vehicle is too big for city streets. You're going to run over a kid. For everybody's safety, one or more of your tires might be deflated.
This is a great neighborhood.
Right, you're going to run. Now,
Okay,
for the record,
I did not get it.
no, for the record, any vehicle is too big for Pittsburgh city streets. They're very narrow.
I hate driving there.
Very narrow, and cars parked on either side. You're lucky to get a car through.
Also, show me a vehicle I can't use to run over a kid.
Right.
I'll run over a kid with one of them tiny clown bikes.
I'll use a bird scooter if the situation calls for it.
Yeah.
If I've got some particularly precocious kid and he's not getting out of the way, you bet your ass I'm firing up. I go, hold on, kid. I got to boot up the app. Hold on. Stupid app. Hold on. Just stand there. And let me get I've never ridden one of these. Dumb app. The app's not pairing. App's not pairing. These birds were supposed to be drones.
Just come here. I'm going to throw the scooter at you.
Like you're a body of water. Your car's too big for the streets, jag off. That's why I put a bean in your tires.
That's why you got bean.
You got bean.
You got bean.
That's right.
Tires might be deflated.
This is a great
You got bean like Yager in 02 in the playoffs. You stupid idiot.
neighborhood, and it's always been very safe. And we walk around at night, and so it's disturbing to find out that there have been carjackings and tires that have been pierced. So it's incongruous.
I love that. It's incongruous. That's a very shady side thing. So anyway, our bureau chiefs there in the Steel City might want, especially if you live over there in that neighborhood, in Shady Side, between like Ellsworth and Fifth Avenue. You want to make sure that you're keeping your head on a swivel. Make sure you don't come out to find that your tires have been deflated because you're a jag-off. You might hit a kid. P.S. Please bring back my lentils.
I need it for soup.
I need them for soup.
It's
Fall's
soup
here.
season.
It's going to get real cold real soon. I need all my beans. So please return.
They put their address.
Yeah. For your convenience, my return address is at the bottom. Please bring my beans down to the first floor apartment and put them in. I have enclosed for your convenience a stealth address stamped envelope. Please include the beans as I'm looking forward to soup season.
Jag off.
Jag off. P.S. Mario Lemieux rules.
Man, this makes me think of one of our favorite bean-based songs, or at least it's not bean-based, but it's got beans mentioned in it. Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah, you're not eating my beans.
You're not eating my beans.
I wish I had Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, we lost it, didn't we?
Yeah, we haven't even heard from Darnell in quite some time.
He's not dead. We heard from him.
We did, but not, I mean, we go through these periods of not hearing from him, and then every time we do, I think, oh, good, he's not dead. But then we don't hear from him for another long period of time.
Got like his blind roommate or something, right?
Right. No, I don't have beans. I have Love for All Seasons.
It wouldn't be beans. It'd probably be titled Mercedes-Benz.
It was called Mercedes-Benz,
Yeah.
right.
You touching my beans. Yeah. Eating my beans.
Or
You're not eating my beans.
You
Right.
just threw that lyric in there.
And we're very close to not giving him a Mercedes-Benz, but we were trying to find a way to...
Well, we bought him a new keyboard.
Right, but like...
And we really didn't get much return on investment in that thing.
When he came out with Mercedes-Benz, Eric and I were working on trying to get him brought to one of the comedy tours or one of the events in a Mercedes-Benz.
Mm-hmm.
But we could never make it happen because he wasn't leaving his house all that much.
That's right. And his
A lot of
parents,
yeah.
grandparents, really, they ruled with an iron fist.
Yeah.
I think he was very
and he's
nervous.
wheelchair bound too, so that makes it more difficult too.
Sure. You got to get a wheelchair accessible Mercedes-Benz. You know how hard that is to do? Where there's no passenger seat, just wide open, so you can put a chair in there. I mean, maybe a G-Series, but holy cow.
When I got I posted on Instagram that I got approved for the credit card yesterday, and someone's like, "Oh, perfect, right off of G-Wagon," and I didn't know what a G-Wagon was.
Mm-hmm.
We're just sitting there quiet on the couch. I go, "Hey, Brian, what's a G-Wagon?" He goes, "You are not getting that car." I was like, "What is it?" So I looked it up. I was like, "Oh, that's so cool."
It's a Post Malone song.
I was
Of course,
like-
he knows it.
Yeah. I was like, some guy on Instagram told me I could write it off. He's like, "You cannot write that off. That is not, your comedy business does not need a Mercedes. That is not a write-off."
Can't write off a $140,000 car.
Right.
That's a little too boxy for my taste. But
Now, if you got a
know.
G-Wagon, I'd be excited.
They look cool. They look better than, they look like a fancy Jeep.
Zach De La Roca famously never wanted one of those. He wanted the machines that were making them.
Mm.
Hey, Woody.
Alan,
Yes, sir.
I got just a couple questions for you, my brother.
All right.
When were the streets designed in Pittsburgh, and how big was a LaSalle back in the day to drive through these streets?
A LaSalle, a Buick LaSalle.
Yeah. Or
Well, I mean,
even
it's an old
Ford
it's
LTD.
it's an old city, and it's very hilly, and it's very. They had to put the roads where they could, and so they're very narrow. And
Yeah, granted, but when the auto boom hit, these old cars, these old giant cars, even all the way up to your day with your Ford LTD,
yeah,
cars were gargantuan, correct?
massive, big hunks of American steel, Woody.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden the streets are too small for the big cars now.
Well, listen, just because this person writes a pissy letter doesn't mean it's necessarily true. There are plenty of wide streets where people can get their cars, but this sounds like somebody who's just looking for reasons to get upset at somebody, and so they're leaving them typewritten letters. Doesn't necessarily make it so, just because this person's got a bug up their ass.
Well,
Or a lentil.
Maybe their kid got run over by a big car.
Maybe that too.
That could be a thing.
And there wasn't a pet cemetery nearby.
Say bring
and
back.
so they call them a jagoff.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
hey, I wanted to ask you a question, real quick, about the Lake County horses
Yeah.
that were draped in. So, because I am such a history buff, and as soon as I saw these horses, I'm like, those are KKK horses.
Mhm.
Because I've seen photographs of it. I've never seen the horses in white, drapes, and since the old timey films of the KKK run a wild back in the the 1800s or early 1900s or whatever. But I don't
2000s.
believe that I don't believe that the apparently everybody missed the picture. I was like, this would be fun, and nobody was the history buff to say, wow, those horses really look like.
Well, they also had horses dressed as witches, and so obviously everybody zoomed in on the ones that were dressed as ghosts, because it's just a weird look.
Yeah, and it only affects. I'm sure the guys who dress the horses up probably have never seen any old time footage of the KKK run a wild with their ghost ponies.
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's probably
that's a
true too.
big stretch to make that cops don't know about the KKK.
Ghost pony. Right. All right. Thank you, Woody. There's Woody out there. Bill, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
We could do better.
Do Better with Bill Squire.
So there's this thing called social media, and it's starting to catch on. And I'll be watching videos on this TikTok app or Reels on Instagram or Shorts on YouTube, and I'll see something that catches my eye. And I don't even know why I'm watching it, but it's just, there's something soothing about it. It'll be a car getting detailed, a rug getting tufted, or a rug getting cleaned. But they're very satisfying to watch. And you're very excited to see the rug go from dirty to clean, the car lose all the filth, all that come off. But then what they keep doing is they cut the video off before they show you the final product. I want to see the finished product. If you're cleaning something off, show me the clean product. Show me the clean sidewalk if you're doing a pressure wash of a sidewalk. I need to see that. If you're mowing a really overgrown lawn and you don't show me what that lawn looks like at the end, I'm going to lose my mind. And you're not getting a follow. You're not getting a like because you need to do better.
We could do better.
Do better with Bill Squire.
So you want kind of a return to the before and after vibe. What you want.
I think it's not too much to ask if you are doing a video where you're showing that you're cleaning a sidewalk to show me the finished product.
I'll tell you what, YouTube has ruined the word satisfying for me.
Why?
Because because my daughter watches a lot of Sniper Wolf videos, you know.
So satisfying.
Oh, God, enough with this. It's so satisfying the way that this comes off. Oh, so satisfying. Okay, I get what it's ruined. That every time now I hear that word, like I pucker. Because I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Pucker what?
That's my, you know. That's Gwen's porn, is watching people pressure wash things.
It's great stuff.
And when she gets to pressure wash our patio, like in the summertime or something, it's like, she loves that.
But it's one of those things when you watch the pressure wash video and it's so good, but then they don't show you the finish, it ruins it. The satisfaction has left.
Yeah,
now
but
it's
you see what they're doing, and it's just going to be the whole thing but that.
Right. You need to see it.
You want to see it in its entirety.
Yes.
I see.
We raked leaves last weekend, which, by the way, full body workout. I logged it on my watch. I burned 700 calories raking leaves. But then it got
and then
to
you
the
walk
point,
out the next morning and your lawn's full of leaves
Covered
again.
I looked at Brian. I was like, "Why did you buy a house? Like, this is the most frustrating
That's what
thing."
happened to us. And it's all other people's leaves. We don't have any trees, so
you just like eventually get to the point where you're just standing there watching them fall one at a time.
Yeah,
just full of rage.
Angry at it.
Like, how dare you, nature?
So he gets the leaf blower out. Now I'm watching it talk about satisfying. I'm like, "Oh man, that's really cool. Like, it looks cool. The grass behind him is clean." I was like, "I want to try." Leaf blowers are so hard to use.
Yeah, they're not easy.
Really struggle. And he made
you're very small too.
He's got the backpack one.
No, it's just like a handheld electric one.
Yeah.
And he made it look like it was he's just walking back and forth, swinging it. The leaves are going exactly where he wants it to. I felt like a little kid. You know how in commercial or cartoons, when they let a balloon go and they're like dragged around by it? That's what I felt like. I could not get these leaves to go where I needed them to. They kept ending up behind me, or I had to blow off the porch like 4 times.
Well, it's not leaves are light, so it's not a precise science.
But
I mean,
he did it so like there was no problem.
He's got a technique.
Yeah,
he's got a technique, and he's got the frame to handle it.
Yeah.
And 2, the strength to handle it.
Not me.
And even if you were strong, just at your size, you're at a disadvantage.
So low to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate where I have a 6-year-old who loves raking leaves. So I go, we're going out and we're going to be raking leaves this past weekend, right?
Yeah, that's what we did.
And she's like, sorry, friends, I quit soccer. I'm raking leaves.
Yeah, soccer's over, fortunately. Yeah. And of course, I told her we have to do it all over again this weekend. But we get out there and I get my blower, because I have a blower and a sucker.
Oh.
So I have a leaf blower, but I also have one that sucks them up and mulches them into a bag, and then I'll put that out as mulch. And then I have my array of rakes. I have a big wide one. I have my whatever it rakes that our friend Kaylee got me a while ago. And my daughter has a small rake that's proportionate to her size.
Right.
And so I get out the blower, and my daughter proceeds to tell me, no, you need to be doing some labor.
Ooh.
Labor is what she wants with the raking. Because with the blower, it'll be done too soon. And what she told me was, we don't get to hang out that often. So let's rake. And I go, we'll rake. And so we raked all the way to the curb.
Yeah.
And of course, next day, covered in neighbors' leaves.
We kept Blake entertained. We don't have a small kids rake. So her job was to help us once it gets onto the tarp, take the tarp down. Yeah. So she was having fun.
But even that's heavy.
She was having fun for about 20 minutes. And then she was like, I want to go inside. And we're like, go ahead. But if you want to sit on your tablet and be out here, you can. She's like, no, I'm going to go in my playroom. We're like, all right, you gave it a good effort, kid.
Because we're going to be out here for 4 more hours.
Well, it was like it took us 2.5 hours, dude.
Yeah.
With 2 rakes, 2 tarps, and I borrowed our neighbor's leaf blower at one point.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to do it all. But it's going to be 75 this weekend.
It was
so
satisfying.
It's going to be perfect. Oh, God.
It was satisfying to watch Brian leaf blow. And then I tried to leaf blow, and I just somehow made a mess of outside.
You You're just blowing them. He's blowing them one direction. You're blowing them in another direction where he turns around and he goes, I thought I just cleared this area.
But then
I kind of blew him back in that other direction.
I'm legitimately just standing there like, I can't figure it out. This is so hard.
Point that high-speed air in that direction.
But then, like, I would turn or get to the end of the
so you use a
yard.
hair
And you're blowing all the leaves in direction.
Yes, and it would go right back.
You have to point it up. Point the leaf blower up.
Because it's just in my arm. So every time I turn, he'd call my name and I'd turn around and the whole pile would be a mess.
Okay, maybe it's not so much your body type. Maybe it's more your brain
I'm
type.
an idiot. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I'm trying to give you all these benefits of the doubt, but no, just
point
was heavy,
Point it
but-
straight up. All right, I'm going to take a break here. If you want to text
Did you see my email real quick?
See what?
Emma's going to make it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Emma Willman is going to join us. She's doing a one-night or two-night at Hilarities. So we'll get to know her briefly. I will also have tickets for you to see Bill Maher. He announced earlier in the week he's going to do MGM Northfield Park this coming May. So if you're a fan of his, I'll hook you up. And then another $1,000 at 4:30 for you to go fund yourself. And we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.